Hey everybody, welcome to the Prime 4 podcast. My name is Bryce.
Chris.
Ross.
Alex.
And today we're going to talk to you about stuff, including the hip-hops, the video games, and TV shows and stuff.
Video games.
So let's start it off right away with Logic announced, this isn't that exciting, but Logic announces a 6th studio album called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. I did listen to a snippet of like the single Confessions of a Dangerous Mind on Spotify today, and it was good.
Yeah.
It's what I expect. It's the same quality that I got from Young Sinatra 4.
Okay.
So I don't know. People who like Logic are pretty hype, of course, and people who aren't are like, well, this isn't bad.
I mean, it's
It's bad. It's still corny, though. Dude's a
is.
bag of fucking
It
Frito corn chips,
It is
dude.
corny. He's sponsored by Nebraska Cornhuskers. With Logic and his studio album coming out, the thing that stuck out to me when I was reading about this shit is a lot of people were saying that he was getting compared to J. Cole and Kendrick. How accurate do we think that is?
The content is way different, I would say.
Probably.
And
Apples and oranges.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Logic.
We're getting into that whole
from what I
lane
heard
discussion again.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it.
I don't think Logic's in the same lane as Kendrick and Cole, but I
No.
do think Logic is good. But Kendrick is like top 10 to me, like in my top 10. And J. Cole, if not in my top 10, he's definitely in my top probably 15, 20. I could
Well,
say.
and people are trying to like. The thing is with me and these type of comparisons,
Logic
like
isn't
we
there.
talked about with lanes and shit like that, is why does LeBron James have to be the new Jordan? Why does MGK have to
isn't.
be the new Eminem?
Yeah,
Why
not as
does like
successful.
why isn't it just like this dude is his own thing? It's like in order to build.
Kobe Bryant was the new Jordan.
I don't think Kobe Bryant.
Kobe
was
Bryant-
Kobe was Kobe.
Kobe
Like,
Bryant's better than Jordan, my guy.
Kobe was Kobe.
Michael Jordan did say that the closest player to him was Kobe Bryant, but he said this years ago before LeBron was like really a thing.
LeBron's like...
But Kobe was in the same era as Jordan.
Yeah.
So it's like
LeBron's like... It's like this.
LeBron is
You
the
look
next
at-
generation.
You look at Michael Jordan, you're like, he looks like an average athlete.
And like
Okay?
Kareem had
You look
more
at-
points.
He is peak athletic.
Kobe Bryant actually looks like he might be like he looked not as powerful as Jordan in my opinion looking at him. Mm-hmm. And then you look at LeBron James, this guy who's just massive,
Yeah.
just like full on like.
Are you calling LeBron thick?
like dude, like when you see a super soldier in a movie, LeBron
Yeah,
James
like
is that guy.
Yeah, you got Jean-Claude Van Damme, but then Goldberg shows up and you're like, whoa.
Oh shit.
It's like
Well, nowadays,
it's like
more
Jordan.
than ever,
It's like Jordan and Kobe were like above average physiques and did what they did, and then you got LeBron who's like crazy physique and does what he does.
Well, nowadays-
so
Yeah.
I think it's more like if you're doing it with less, you're better.
Well, nowadays,
Who's got the better
nowadays
hairline,
they
though?
spend so much time
Right?
lifting and doing all this extra shit
Yeah,
that the guys back
exactly.
in the day probably didn't do. It's a more physical game nowadays.
Well,
It's-
yeah, because they
it's-
don't want their knees to go to shit,
I
probably.
mean, strategically,
What's
it's
that?
a different
It's more
game.
physical and it's not.
It's more physical and it's not. It's more
You make
physical
things-
running around.
Your defense can't be as physical, but your offense can be more physical. Mm-hmm. The way things are right
Well,
now,
the paradigm-
which is like.
The paradigm
Doesn't make more
switched
sense.
like that in football too, but back to drawing it back into the point is I don't understand why people can't just be their own thing. I might not be a fan of all of Logic's work, but I'm not saying wow, Logic is the new blank. You know what I mean? Like I don't like when people
He's
do
the
that.
next
Stop doing
Eminem.
that shit.
Because
He's going to carry the torch.
Because people have the idea of lanes, which we haven't really defined.
sure.
I
But
think Logic's main appeal is a lot of people can emotionally connect with his music. That's the reason he's.
Yeah, and
But-
it's like let him have that. Let him have that. Let him be
Logic.
that. Don't.
I'm not
try to-
saying he's like.
okay,
Well, yeah, I
so
understand, I
Logic,
understand.
I wouldn't. Okay, so Logic, I guess I would say is mainstream, but he definitely appeals to a wider audience than J. Cole and Kendrick.
That's
He
probably accurate.
appealed. Well, yeah, I guess of like every culture, you do have like hipsters and like people who are like pseudo nerds, like the people who watch The Big Bang Theory and laugh. So yeah, you get a lot of.
Oh god.
You get Logic would get a lot of followers.
They have
I guess,
different.
out of
They
that.
have a different. They have a different fan base, but
Yeah.
I think Logic is talented, but maybe you could put him. Like, I haven't listened to all of his stuff, so maybe he is in a similar lane to J. Cole and Kendrick. Because I consider Kendrick and J. Cole to be like in the same lane. Just like I would put Schoolboy Q in that lane.
Okay.
And then like you got Jay-Z and Nas, I would definitely put them in the same lane.
Yeah.
Then you got who's in a lane with? I guess Eminem and Eminem's in that lane too. Like
You got similar upbringings. You got similar regions of the country that you can go by. You got rhyme schemes and you got cadences that you can go on and things like this.
Yeah.
But I'm like, people are fucking reaching for that. Where they're, oh my goodness, he is the new. I don't like that. I've never liked that paradigm.
How are we
I
gonna
guess.
break
well,
that down
it's
though?
you can't.
You
can't.
I was gonna say, do we have to get a checklist and say, okay, he fills out this many checks?
Yeah,
at
like-
least he's in this lane,
Everybody
that's-
wants
you
their
almost
own
have to,
team.
right?
They want their team to win.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
every other team is shit. And you can only like come to that conclusion by comparing everything. Like everybody wants to be unique. It's like, but
Yeah. That's
true.
You know, the biggest idea, like put it into like I would say money. Like everybody should be a millionaire, but then it comes down to, well, everybody's not a millionaire.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be millionaires.
Right.
So it's the same thing with rappers. You got a shit ton of rappers. Every rapper's good. Well, no, you can't have every rapper be good. So then you start getting the lanes where they got to split and they got to make, you know, their top 1%. Then they got to make their upper, lower, middle, lower class.
You got your like regional rappers that are very popular in the region they're from, but not like don't have as much outreach.
like Atmosphere.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Local rappers
Atmosphere's not good.
is not good.
Seconded.
I mean, I haven't heard a ton of his stuff. I've heard a few good songs, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
I think
like,
the top two things that
diehard fan.
that has been forced upon my ears in the Midwest. Number one, Atmosphere, and number
So
two,
trash.
like
He's a regional guy,
strange
like I said.
music. Strange music has been forced. Like I see the stickers on cars like everywhere in the Midwest.
People, it's that whole thing is like kind of like a hipster thing. Like they
It's more
really
It's
feed
more like
on-
pride of the like your region.
Well, hipsters like to feed on local scenes for sure. I would
Sure, I
say
suppose, yeah.
because
Yeah.
like, oh, you haven't heard this guy. This guy only plays in Minneapolis.
This guy only plays like in an abandoned warehouse on the south side of Minneapolis, like every super blood wolf moon, like, bro, like once every 3 decades.
God damn it.
I've
kinda makes
I've
sense.
only seen
That
this
makes a
guy
lot of
perform in
sense.
front of a halal food cart.
Yeah,
Like,
like that definitely makes a lot of sense though. Now that you say it that way.
yeah,
Yes.
it's
And then they go outside the Midwest and they're like, hey, you've never heard of this shit. Listen to this guy. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, like
it's like, I
seeing
mean,
the,
that's
like-
not what we had. That's like kind of your thing.
yeah. I remember seeing the cutscenes with like Atmosphere, and it was like mad acoustic on MTV and shit. I'm like, okay, this guy's kind of good, you know. But like once I got here, you would have thought that he was like god tier because everybody's like jumping on it super hard.
Dude,
but-
he gets the people from here, man. He gets.
Who does he sound?
I'm just kidding.
He sounds extremely similar to Aesop Rock to me, but he's not as authoritatively as Aesop
God.
Rock.
I think maybe, but
I don't
the
think
thing
he's
is-
as talented as Aesop Rock.
No,
but I haven't.
no.
It's hard to compare when I haven't heard like their
Works.
entire works. Like
Sure.
Atmosphere, I've heard a couple good songs. Like, but is that all he has? Is just a couple good songs?
Yeah, like I have to judge a body of work. So yeah, I'll delve into it, but it's just like it's different.
We'll wait for the second
Yeah.
show that we
We'll
make
do that.
if we ever make
Another
it.
segment.
Like,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about albums.
Sure.
What were we talking about? Logic.
We were
Yeah.
talking
Okay.
about Logic.
Yep. Logic is releasing a 6th studio album. Alex already pre-ordered. He's ready.
Hard
He-
no.
Alex is like,
I'll pass.
Alex, that's a hard pass for Alex. He hasn't heard it yet, though,
Thanks,
so don't
no
judge
thanks.
him. More news, hip-hop news, is Jay-Z of Jay-Z his blueprint, the album Blueprint, is going to be archived in the Library of Congress. And this I personally don't understand.
They already archived Reasonable Doubt.
They haven't.
Then they're fucking up.
Yeah,
A lot of people were saying that.
Yeah. So Chris, as the local Jay-Z expert,
I can't say expert.
The fuck is that
but,
supposed to mean?
like, I can't say expert, but I mean, I like a lot of Jay-Z stuff. I wasn't always a whole fan, you know what I mean? But I like a lot of Jay-Z stuff, and just to see the growth of his subject matter and how he says and what he does and what beats he chooses is really great. I mean, Reasonable Doubt is awesome. The Blueprint is awesome, but like, if I had to pick between the two, I could see why a lot of people would say Reasonable Doubt just because of what it meant and when it meant that. So
I can understand that. I did pull up a list of 6 hip-hop records preserved at the Library of Congress. This one is... Let me see what number 1 is. Why does it have number 1 there?
I don't know.
Are they trying to say miseducations? You know what? I'll just read some of this stuff. No, you know what? You guys keep talking. I'm going to actually try to find a better website.
Sounds like a good idea.
The thing is, too, with Jay-Z's work, is I'm looking at it right now, and he's been out for a long time. There's lots of shit to pick. Mm-hmm. But I also got to think, who the fuck is picking this? Mm-hmm. Who's in charge of saying, hey, we should add this? What group of people is doing that? Because I think the choices would make a lot more sense if I knew who they were.
Well, we are...
It's either some committee or it's some literally, like...
I have the criteria.
Older historian person saying, this sounds good.
All right.
Here's the selection criteria for being, I guess, inducted into the Library of Congress. Recordings are selected for the National Recording Registry are those that are culturally, historically, or aesthetically important and or inform or reflect life in the United States. Which is that's a huge fucking deal, so it's understandable. For the purposes of recording selection, sound recordings are defined as works that result from the fixation of a series of musical, spoken, or other sounds, but not including the sound component of a moving image work, unless it is available as an autonomous sound recording or is the only extant component of the work. No idea what I just read. Recordings may be a single item or group of related items, published or unpublished, and may contain music, non-music, spoken word, or broadcast sound. Recordings will not be considered for inclusion into the National Recording Registry if no copy of the recording exists. Probably no shit. No recording should be denied inclusion into the NRR because that recording has already been preserved. No recording is eligible, this is the last one, for inclusion into the NRR until 10 years after the recording's creation.
Okay.
So that...
Gotta wait to see if it's still significant.
You gotta wait to see if it's still significant there. So that puts a timestamp on it. It has to reflect what's going on in the country at the time. Like, I guess.
Okay, so I can't readily find it, so we're going to go back to this non-credible website called thoughtco.com. So I believe the first hip-hop album inducted, if I can go back here to the years of induction, this would be... Oh, whoever did that was... Whoever messaged me, you fucked up. That was the Love's Unseasoned Meats.
We've seen him before.
Okay, so Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, The Message. That, to me, in my opinion, The Message is numero uno for hip-hop for me. For
I've
song.
seen him rap this. So I believe that he believes this.
I love this song. The Message is pretty much just a song about, like... you know, inner city relations, essentially, of, you know, the young African American youth.
I think, just inner city youth across the spectrum. That's
sure. I didn't want to pigeonhole it, but I did it.
Whoa! Keep it on the task at hand, not pigeonholing.
Bleep that, Ross. Okay.
Hell no.
But that is that plus like the message is up there for me. Mathematics by Mos Def is essentially the same thing, but a newer version of it, and those to me are just fantastic works. So that essentially this was released in 1982. The message was
the message Nas.
It is the first hip-hop recording selected by the Library of Congress. Though synonymous with Grandmaster Flash, the message was actually penned by Grandmaster Mel...
Go ahead, player.
Melly Mel and Sugar Hill in-house drummer Ed Duke Booty. I can't speak.
This fucking guy.
It's-
Bippity boppity.
Duke Booty, dude. I'm not lying. The message arrived at the height of the socio-economic unrest in urban communities. It captured the desperation and why are they using these big words? Conditions of the ghetto youth in the Reagan era.
I don't know. You were shit talking that site a little bit ago.
Right?
They took from Aesop Rock. They just opened a thesaurus, just started going to town. The message is significant because of the focus on urban social issues. Course followed by many later rap artists. That was what the National Library of Congress said. Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. This was in 2004. It became the first full-length hip-hop album to be enshrined in the National Recording Registry. Released 14 years earlier, the album's dark, forceful sound, courtesy of the Bomb Squad, still resonates today. Public Enemy's political messages are still as meaningful as ever. The Library of Congress praised the album for signaling the coupling of a strongly political message with hip-hop music. I'll just read the next ones off without going into the description. Yep. This one is very popular. This one's well-known. This is Tupac's Dear Mama. That is just a beautiful fucking song. De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. That is pretty cool.
When we do the album segment, I'll have to bring the sneakers from that album cover on here, yeah.
And we definitely should do a review of De La Soul. Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight. Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That's extremely, popular. That's a very good album. It's definitely up there for the top hip-hop albums of all time. So that's no surprise there. And now Jay-Z will be added there. With Blueprint. I haven't listened to Blueprint as a whole. Do you think it has that message, that cultural message, the Blueprint over Reasonable Doubt? I don't think Reasonable Doubt pushed that big of a message personally when I listened to it.
What I think Hove has done a really good job of and continues to do a good job of is speaking on what he sees, what he's doing, what he's living at the time. And it's a little bit difficult because it's like I identify with his later stuff better because I feel like I can understand the message better. I could relate to the message better. I wasn't doing the shit he was talking about when Reasonable Doubt came out. Yeah. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing the shit that he was talking about when the Blueprint came out either. So I think it's kind of hard for me to call it, and it's like I'm not the average African American, average American, average whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like I don't know what people relate to.
Yeah, I guess that's up to. The Library of Congress will probably release a press article or something defining why they chose it or something. So
I don't know, 7 more years, just swap 444 in for that.
Right,
Good,
just
right?
Yeah, because Jay-Z to me has just evolved into a conscious rapper, only with 444. What was before 444? Well, Magna Carta was a step back.
Yeah.
You guys think DMX should have been in there before him?
Yes.
No.
It's dark and hell is hot.
No.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with him in that level of success.
You don't want
just
someone
yet.
looking back
DMX,
200 years and looking at the music they got, and they're
Whoa.
like, "What's this DMX guy?" And they click on
Like,
it.
DMX, if he... Okay, what album?
I gotta have him like. 'cause
If he
has a
would
lot
have
of-
died, like, after, like, his third album release, he would be the Tupac.
I don't think so.
Oh, I was-
Yes!
Tupac?
He would... No, he would be as...
He would be the Kurt Cobain of that kind of music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a thin salt. Like,
No. DMX would be considered one of the best of all time had his run ended, like...
Before he like went on, got strung out, and went to jail.
Yeah.
I don't.
His first 4 albums are all, like, insane.
Yeah, but I don't know if I agree with like he would have been up on that level.
Dude has Slippin'.
Also, yeah, and Slippin' is one of my joints, and then the joint he did with Aaliyah is one of my joints too. But I don't know. It's just I'm so behind seeing like there's more to the DMX story. Like his greatest is yet to come. That's where I'm coming from. A place I'm just trying to wish some better works
they
out
put,
of
like,
him.
do they
Like, I want another classic
It's
album.
okay,
for DMX,
so
to be honest.
DMX first 4 albums all went platinum, which is extremely rare for most hip hop
that's
artists.
true. I agree.
First one, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, 4-time platinum. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, 3-time platinum. And then there was X, 5 times platinum. And then the Great Depression was just single platinum. Wait. Yes, just single platinum, almost 2 times platinum.
Yep.
But that is an insane run. If you think of like other top rappers who had an insane start, like not many of them could ever keep up the same momentum that
Rock.
DMX had. Shut up.
He went platinum 7 times. He says right in the song.
Kid Rock.
That was back.
But that was on one album, right?
Yeah, that was like at a certain.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Fred Durst probably.
But think of it, like he would have a 4-time platinum, 3-time platinum, 5-time platinum, and if he had, unfortunately, God forbid, had died, or if he had left the game with those 3 albums, he would be the Tupac. Because think of it, what albums did Tupac release?
Yeah, but what was
when he was alive, and which one like
released 3. It was Strictly, then
Me Against the World?
Me Against the World, All Eyes
Eyes
on
on
Me.
Me. And
okay? So what Tupac was at the time?
how many
though?
Biggie have?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Actually, he died. Did he die before the second album actually released?
Yeah, but they still released it. It was like
They
something.
finished it.
Yeah.
But like you got to look at like
Life After Death.
everybody when Tupac came out, it was music. It was a short lifespan. God rest his soul. But it's also like what he was doing. Like he was like, man, I saw Tupac jump out of a car and spit on a cop, and I saw Tupac, blah blah blah. And I remember one time I was trying to get Snoop was telling a story about him trying to get some drugs from Tupac, and Tupac rolls up there to drop the whatever off.
Ooh.
And he was rolling up there with Madonna. Like Tupac was just kind of that guy too to go with it, and I don't think DMX had the same exposure as him. But again, I'm still wishing for the best to come in DMX.
Okay, so Tupac had 6 studio albums.
What?
Yes, he had Tupacalypse Now, which did not go platinum. It got
and
close.
Machiavelli was out before.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Was that out post or pre-mortem?
This is his first. This is 1991.
Okay.
This is in chronological order.
Okay.
Then it was Strictly, which went, almost 2 times platinum. It went a little over 1.5. Then Thug Life Volume 1, which I don't think that's actually a real thing. That didn't get any platinum. That has no RIAA rating at all.
That was probably like a mixtape or
Yeah.
something like that.
It says studio album. This is just on Wikipedia. Me Against the World, that went 2 times platinum, a little over 2.5 times platinum. All Eyes on Me went diamond, which is 5 times platinum.
But if you look at his first 2 albums, those aren't the albums that people
Diamond
remember.
was 10.
Right.
It says 5 million.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Is
Crazy.
platinum 10? But, and then
I don't know.
the Don Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory, That was released after death, though. That was 96. November 5th, 1996.
Machiavelli was post-mortem, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, posthumous albums right here.
Diamond album.
Are you still down? Still I rise until the end. Better days, loyal to the game. Pac's life, One Nation.
Right.
They're not counting.
Diamond is 10 million.
It is 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They're not counting Machiavelli then as being post-mortem. They're saying that since he worked on it mostly since he was alive, they're still counting it as something that came out when he was
Well,
alive.
I wouldn't
I'm
say
looking at a list of like.
I wouldn't say
Diamond albums,
DMX would have taken the place of Tupac probably,
Sure.
but in the talks would probably it'd be Tupac, Biggie, DMX out.
There
of
wouldn't be that. There wouldn't be that whole Tupac's the GOAT, but or no, not Tupac. DMX is the GOAT, but he's also a cautionary tale. Like there wouldn't be that cautionary tale. He'd just be the GOAT.
But
Yeah.
what do you like? And this is an honest question
because that's a
This is
guy
not
who
me.
fell off hard.
Yeah, this is not
Insane
me
career.
trying to achieve a certain thing. But outside of releasing those albums, what did he do culturally? Like
Who are we talking about?
Lots of
DMX.
drugs.
Like that's why like
He fell for the crack epidemic. So
He did, and
that's culturally relevant.
he was in movies though. I don't want to forget that stuff.
Cradle to the
Pac did
Grave,
movies,
baby.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of
Movies,
music
too.
in movies too. Like
And that
his
one with
soundtracks
Steven
and stuff.
Seagal. He did a lot of what?
He had a lot of movie music soundtrack, like songs
Yep.
on soundtrack.
He did
Yeah.
Cradle to the Grave, the soundtrack.
He did some good movies. Like I miss DMX movies.
Yeah.
Like that shit is cool.
What's the one with Steven Seagal that he did?
I don't know.
It wasn't Cradle to the Grave. That was Jet Li. Or was Steven Seagal? Who gives
I
a
think
shit?
Cradle to the Grave was Steven Seagal because
I can't remember. It could be.
he was in a joint with he was in a joint with Aaliyah and Jet Li too.
Yeah, that was Cradle
Kiss
to the
of the
Grave.
Grave.
No, that was Romeo Must Die.
Oh,
Die.
you're right.
Yeah.
Let me get the IMDb out for DMX.
Right?
Man, he needs to do everything again.
He
Like,
does.
Except the drugs.
Yeah.
Master
that's right.
Thief.
We said before.
Yeah.
do not
True.
sell
I just
DMX.
look up Cradle to the Grave. It's like Master Thief, Anthony Fate, DMX.
Yeah. Oh man, he was in a lot of shit apparently.
Yeah, bro.
What the fuck is he doing?
He was in South Park?
Probably.
Maybe.
What?
Yeah, DMX one episode.
1998.
Yo.
He must have been DMX.
Yeah, he must have. Romeo Must Die. That is the one with Jet Li.
Some of that sounds like
So Exit Wounds is the one with Steven Seagal.
Exit
Yeah,
Wounds.
there you go.
Okay.
Exit Wounds. Cradle to
Cradle
the
to
Grave
the
is
Grave.
another Jet Li. So he had two Jet Lis. Third Watch, Never Die Alone, DMX, Soul of a Man, Father of Lies. So he fell off in the movie game, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that was
But you can't keep making movies when you're in jail.
all
For
right.
certain.
So what were
certain.
okay?
Unless they like green screen and film you in your
right?
jail.
Excuse me, but how do all those prison movies get made?
You're saying you're just gonna keep making prison movies?
No, he would be like the
He'd be like
the
the shot caller.
Yeah.
no,
that's
he would
it,
be
like-
he would be like the dude who tells them how it is in prison. What do you call them?
Oh.
The experts that they
Yeah.
hire to show them to make sure they're doing it right or
Is he gonna, oh, I thought you were gonna say like a scared straight,
Accurate.
like where the little kids come in. He's like, "Yeah, you want to be in here?"
I can't get in there.
He just does his like
Just
yelling
barking
shit.
at kids and shit.
Yo, that shit is back crazy.
All right. Does anybody have anything more for hip hop? Because we went off on a tangent.
We did. It was
Yeah.
great.
It was great.
glorious.
We
Yeah.
have opinions and we're opinionated.
Right?
So that's it for hip hop news. There wasn't a lot going on that we care to talk about. Because I think never mind. We'll just move on to gaming.
What was that about?
I was gonna say that we don't want to like talk about anything that we don't know about essentially.
Sure.
Yeah, that we
Yes.
haven't looked into. I looked into these. And I looked into it live with you. Other stuff I won't look into live for. All right, gaming.
Form your own opinion.
If you remember last week, our 17 listeners, Google was unveiling a streaming console, we thought. But now they revealed that they are launching a remote hardware gaming streaming platform
Yep.
and not a streaming console. What this means...
It actually
This
to
sounds
me sounded great.
fucking impossible to me. And
You need- you
bullshit.
need
They're
really good
fucking
internet.
lying.
You
Make it
actually
work.
need decent internet for it.
Yes, they said you need. they're thinking
You probably want-
theoretically need 15 megabyte up.
Okay, so Chris,
Which
remember
means
how last week
I
we
will
were
never
talking
see
about
it.
like emulation almost? How we
Yeah.
were talking about like how it's like a
emulator
computer
within-
in a
Or maybe it's
computer.
15
Yeah.
megabyte down.
So what
If you're
this
playing at
is
1080p,
is-
you probably want.
on their side, the game is being like rendered and
Yeah.
played, and then you're streaming it.
Okay, so this is
There's going to be
what
latency
this
between
sounds
your
like-
inputs.
Yeah.
And,
yes.
What this sounds like to me, though, is you take something that's simple, like, all right, let's join the fight and put up a game console to, like, you know what? We can go even bigger. Like, calm down.
I mean, the
Shut
one
up,
good
chill
thing
back
about
a little
this
bit.
is they can just keep upgrading their software on their side, and you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
This-
You can have just like a laptop or like a janky computer, and
And you
just
could be
as
playing
long
a
as it
new
can
game.
output
Yeah.
it, you know,
As
whatever.
long as your internet's good enough.
This to me is a fucking pipe dream that I don't think will work at all because
It's already been a thing. They're just the biggest person to do it thus far.
yes, but all the previous ones haven't been successful due to latency
you
issues.
saw the thing where they would have had some game in like where they were playing it in a Chrome tab or whatever. They did it as like a test thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was Assassin's Creed.
yeah. And they said it played really good, is what they
Yeah, on
claimed.
Google fucking Fiber.
Well, it was at some like
You're
expo,
playing
so
it
wasn't
on
on
the
Google
server,
Fiber,
Roddy.
but-
It's gonna
This
play
okay,
good.
so this is how it works. You have any device that has a screen and a connection to the internet.
You could do it on a phone, probably. Actually,
You could probably do it on a phone.
Google Android.
And so if your smart TV connects to the internet, you now have a Google streaming
I think
console.
they
essentially.
said you'd have to buy like the Chrome thing though, or the
Chromecast
Chromecast thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I think that's
That
what they
makes
said.
That's fucking stupid.
So there is technically something required.
They'll make you buy
No,
a
that-
they'll make you buy a dongle.
Why would they need that though? There'd be no purpose for
To
that
connect to
whatsoever.
their service.
Well, there's
I don't
no
Just to get more money
Well,
out
then
of
there's
it.
no reason
Well,
for
they
a
aren't very
Chromecast for an
expensive
Apple
compared to,
TV.
like,
either.
the consoles.
It's-
Like
Yeah.
$5 or something.
Yeah, they're
like
not very
that.
expensive.
Yeah, but that's just another cost they're adding on to it when you know you don't fucking need it.
Okay.
You know you don't need a Chrome. What is it going to do, Ross?
You get Chromecast
But theoretically,
and,
Chromecast
so
is a
you
very
have
cool
any
thing.
device with a screen with wireless or whatever that can play, 1080 whatever, and you have a controller that connects to your network wirelessly.
Yep.
And all the inputs you put on the controller get sent, through the internet tubes
Yeah.
to the hardware farm, and then get sent back to your
Everything I
display.
heard said that the controller is like really nice too. It feels like really good.
Don't care. I don't want to hear that. It looks like
It
a
has haptic feedback.
It
right?
looks like
Smokes.
a Nintendo Switch, a mixture of the Nintendo Switch Pro controller
which
and
is
a
the best
P-
controller that I've ever felt.
and a PlayStation 4 controller because it's got the little.
The PS4 controller joystick and button setup is like trash, though. I don't know how people can even do
Well,
that.
that's what the Google one is going to have, that joystick setup. It looks stupid. I hate it. But you need to have insane internet to be able to do this. And they even said
Well, if you live
that
in the
we'll
city,
be
it's not
able
insane
to
internet.
push higher internet speeds to you through this, which is not factual, and that's a fucking lie. Fuck them, they're lying.
Speeds of at least 15 megabits per second and latency
Up
of
or
40
down?
milliseconds or less. That's download speed.
I can't even do it here. That's for sure.
Well, what's our download speed, Alex? Maybe that
120
One of the actual like what you get for a download.
mega.
That's
You're talking
the
in
upload
bits,
speed.
which is 8. You have to divide by 8 to get the megabytes. So that's just bits. So that's
15 megabits.
megabits. Yeah, we're at 120 megabits.
Yeah, but our actual download speed's only like 15 megabytes.
15 megabytes. But the bit to byte conversion is you divide by 8, so we're 8 times more than you need.
You're saying that we'll be able to do it.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
see.
Shit.
We'll
Yeah.
see. Because Bryce
Yeah.
was talking like we wasn't.
I won't be able to. I won't be able to with my internet because I have shit internet. You might be able to. I think it's a pipe dream. I don't think it will work. I think the latency for the controller will be what damns it, just like every other streaming device there has been. Was the latency was just too noticeable. Like
Depends on what game you're playing on it, but
you can tell, like under a second delay with your inputs. You can easily tell that while playing a video game.
well, if you keep it under 40 milliseconds, it's going to be just the same as playing a game of League or something on your computer.
Yeah, if they could keep it that low. To me, it just still sounds like a pipe dream.
That's the controller right there.
Oh, that shit looks nice.
And
That's nice.
Yeah.
but they demoed this in a controlled space, So they probably had Google Fiber going. They had, gigabyte download. To me, it's just a pipe dream. They said you can be watching a trailer, a video game trailer, and you could click play now, and you'll be playing within 5 seconds because it'll stream it to you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's they might be able to stream it to you. Your internet speed matters.
Well,
in the latency.
I wonder though if you could play it at like 720p instead and have shittier internet. You know what I'm saying?
It's possible, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll see.
If that's for like 1080p decent like quality.
I think they go up to 4K.
This would be the dream.
If you're playing below 4K, it might be
this
easier.
This would be the modern current video game killer.
Console crusher, yeah.
Well, actually, technically, this could be a big thing in China where the hardware is expensive and their currency is
but their internet's shit.
I thought we had like
accurate.
Yeah, I thought we had globally like one.
The reason our country has
internets.
internet issues is because our internet companies are privatized.
Yep.
And other countries, they have it all going through their government, most of them, and they've got way better speeds than us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like super fast.
Capitalism.
But you got to think, all the telephone companies, they take, even the cell phone companies, they were like taking all these fees for equipment upgrades, and then they just cashed it all out as profits.
Here's what they do: they say, "Oh, you guys, in about 5 years, we'll all upgrade to this speed, and we'll all keep making money."
Yeah.
And then they just keep doing that. They don't say, "Oh, well, one of them's going to outdo the other." It never happens.
Yeah, because you kind of you have it legally down that you can have basically monopolies on a region as internet.
Local monopolies.
They're like guaranteed that region, so they're like, we don't have to upgrade our speeds.
Well, you see, the thing is, that's politicians on the city council getting a kickback to carve out that territory for them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's been that way since
we got this local company. Let them do this
shit.
small town and keep their business going. But you could have all this other.
I think I've told this story on the podcast before, so I apologize. Not really if I've told it before. But I called your internet service provider to get internet here.
Yep.
And they said, we can't do that. That's CenturyLink's territory.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't care. Break the truce.
Yeah.
Get in here.
Break the truce. Get in here.
Yeah. Like...
Some guy comes out in a full fur coat and
isn't that fucking stupid? Like, it's
Right
ran
now.
in territories like fucking gangs.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
You have no choice. Like, if you live in town, like, you have, what is Charter called now? Spectrum? You have Spectrum, that's it.
Like if you watch video game
depending
players,
where you live in town, you have Spectrum or CenturyLink.
there's players from Korea who, on video games, will have like 3 ping.
Yep.
You come to America, the lowest ping you're going to get is like 30 or 40. And they say when they make that change, they say it's so hard to play compared to like
60 ping.
Yep, they're all like, they say they can't play with like all that like lag.
That's insane.
And for us, that's good. We're like this is good speed.
I did want to.
When you're used to playing League of Legends on 120 ping, like getting upgraded to like 20, 30 ping is like legendary.
Yep.
Aside from this bullshit lie that Google's pushing, I have another exciting bit of news that no one will care about but myself.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you that news anyway.
Let's get it.
Today, they announced and released a teaser trailer for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Yep, they've been teasing for
Electric
a while
Boogaloo.
now,
Yep.
like with pictures. And
I signed up. They released an app, a fake Tinder app that I signed up for.
Yep, I've seen it advertised on like. I've seen it advertised on the streaming services I watch.
Yeah, it was like it was like a publicity.
It was called Tender.
Yeah,
Really?
Tinder. Yeah, it was like a Tinder for like vampires.
Yep.
Like, are you into like biting flesh and shit? It like into dark shit essentially.
And well, the reason I like it had where you would like do things to level up in it too, so it was like a mini game too.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't keep going into it. I just downloaded it to see what it was about, to see if you could get in-game stuff. But for those of you who do not know, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, the first one was released
overhyped.
15 years ago.
Shut up,
Not overhyped. Alex is a dumb bitch. And
You can't say that.
Vampire the Masquerade
that.
Bloodlines, I can't say dumb bitch.
You can't do that.
Okay.
Why am I the guy to say that? That's just funny.
I could say
But
that.
you can say
But-
whatever you want to. You're an adult.
We'll bleep it. We'll bleep it. Ross is like, I'm not bleeping it.
Like,
That's
fuck
fine.
you,
Don't
buddy.
bleep it.
Oh,
but
man.
it was released 15 years ago, and that game, Vampire Bloodlines, is pretty much the epitome of like a vampire video game that we've ever had. I did not play the newer Vampire with a Y game. I didn't play that yet.
Yeah.
I heard it's good, but compared to Bloodlines, I don't know how they could be that good. This was a first-person RPG set in a very gothic, like, Seattle setting where you had the different factions of vampires, a lot of them, and depending on which one you choose, your story would change depending on
and you have different powers and abilities.
Yeah, so you could... So one might be more towards melee, one might be into... charming, and you got questions.
Is this like a free roaming game?
There's like ones that
it's sandbox with instances.
Think of
so it's like little hubs. So you got main hub,
knockoff of GTA.
Then you got the loading screen that that takes you to the beach section with the pier, and then you got another section that takes you to the graveyard section and then there's the underground sewer system. With the city's vampire city under there that like connects everything. Okay. And this game, it was like your choices affected the game. So you would have the dialogue choices that would have different outcomes and stuff like that. It was one of those early games. It was made by...
it's one of them things that's becoming more and more popular again as like D&D is growing.
Alex doesn't know anything about it.
Because a lot of the Vampire actually started as like a D&D type game, like originally.
Yeah, it is originally an RPG tabletop.
And they just released a new version of it within the last year or so.
Yep. Wow. And it was made by Troika Games. And that is the founder of that. One of the founders is the guy who made, who was on the teams that made Fallout 1 and 2. And the reason Troika Games is no longer around is because I think the guy's name was Leonard. They lost the bid to make Fallout 3 to Bethesda. So they went tits up after that. Because Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, they had a contract with Steam. This was back when Steam was like the Epic Games like of today. They were like the devil back then. They had their contract said that they couldn't release Vampire the Masquerades until after Half-Life 2 released. So they had to wait I think like a whole year before they could release the game on Steam. Jeez. And then they released it the same day as Half-Life 2. So the sales were not good because it was competing directly with Half-Life 2. But Vampire became a cult classic throughout the years after that because it didn't get its time in the light really when it first came out in 2004, I think. And the Leonard guy, the founder of Troika Games, who made the Fallout games, he went on... See, this guy's the devil. He went on to work for Blizzard, and he was the lead world designer for like Diablo 3 and the storyline for Diablo 3, and it's... Jeez. So I have a special hatred for this man, but he did create Vampire Bloodlines the Masquerade. So the second one's coming out. The trailer looked,
I haven't seen it, so...
It's current gen graphics. It looks beautiful. They didn't show actual gameplay footage.
They showed screenshots, I know, like, as it was coming out, and everyone was like, is it a remake of the old one, or is it a new one? But now I guess it's a new one, it seems like.
See, it says it's a sequel, but I think it's set in the exact same place.
Yeah, that's very possible.
With the same factions of vampires.
Could be.
So you might get the crazy tattooed vampire pirate Jack or whatever the fuck that guy was, that crazy motherfucker. He's like the first guy you talk to in that game. Alex, why didn't you like that game? It was a buggy mess when it came out.
It was like Babby's first RPG for a lot of people who were edgy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best game that you could play where you played as a vampire was Elder Scrolls 3.
Oh, God, calm down.
Not true. That would be Oblivion, sir. Thank you.
And also, like, a better, like, in this vein of, like, kind of not, like, top-tier games from that era, Stalker was a lot better.
Stalker, well, yeah, Stalker's like top tier.
I don't know, I've been getting hyped up for a new vampire game, man.
Well, that's because
there's so few and far between vampire games.
I mean,
you don't get good ones. And like Bloodlines is considered good. This new vampire game, I guess, is good. But other than that, you've had 15 years of nothing.
Jeez.
It's always a side note to it.
Well, it's because there's really not much you can do with vampires. Always biting somebody. Oh, he's biting
No,
another guy.
vampire.
So like,
There we go.
is the following of vampire games not big enough? Do people? Is it not a big?
Well,
money thing?
none of
How does that
them
work?
have been good enough.
I don't know, man. There's people out there who pretend to be vampires, so I don't know what you're saying, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why there's not more vampire games.
They may have made a
people-
Blade video game. I can't imagine that was successful. Maybe they made an Underworld game.
They did.
I can't imagine that was successful.
Underworld would've
But you
probably
have
been.
all
They
the
made
movies that are
some
so
Blood Rain,
good.
like arcade type ones.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
Blood Rain was a video game, but I don't
Yes.
remember that being that amazing. That was like a more hack and slash third person one.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, they had the Legacy of Kain series, which was a fantastic vampire game too. That kind of went to the wayside later on in the series, but it was overall it's amazing. That's Legacy of Kain, that's Blood Omen and Soul Reaver. Both those franchises are in Legacy of Kain and like all in the same story world. So that was a big deal. But Bloodlines, as far as like being a fantastic RPG,
Stop shaking your damn head.
Why?
you
I
can't.
can't have an opinion. Okay.
But your opinion.
Everything about that game was great. It had like the when you turn on the radio and there'd be fake radio ads for shit, and it'd be like frickin' chicken and stuff like that. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, there's
That
definitely
reminds
some
me of
comedy
that
in
fucking
it.
Duke Nukem game.
But
That shit's
Morrowind
nice.
3 is not the epitome of being a vampire in a video game. I'm sorry. Because that would be Oblivion for one.
I don't know if you really got far enough into Morrowind to comment. If we're gonna go down that
sir,
route.
I've played through Morrowind multiple times.
I don't know. Morrowind had werewolf was funner. I thought.
The werewolf was
Can
funner.
I say funner, Alex?
Yeah, it's more fun.
More fun.
There are werewolves in Vampire the Masquerade that world, but in Bloodlines you only encounter one, and that's like the scariest part in the whole game.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Anyway, let's move on from fanboy stuff.
In that world, they're like more to the north usually, so that's fine.
I'm wondering if I could get Vampire Bloodlines in my top 10 video games of all time. I might get close. It might get close because that game is actually really good. It was buggy when it came out, so that hurt it as well.
It'll probably come down to either Diablo 2 or Bloodlines. No, just
No, fuck that.
to make the top 10, you know.
It would be in the top near the 10, maybe if I can get it in the top 10.
Yeah, I
would
was
have
just
to see.
trolling.
Let's move on to anything else you want to say about Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines, Alex? How many times did you play through that game?
I played through about half of it, but it was just a mess.
Oh, he didn't even play through the whole thing, and he's commenting on it? And he gave me shit for allegedly not playing through Morrowind when I have multiple times?
I watch a stream of their actual like dice rolling RPG. They have it on Geek and Sundry right
I
now.
want to play that. I think it would be good.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the movies, TV, and mixture before Alex gets too upset. We got a new vampire TV show coming out. It's called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
No.
I watched Triple Frontier on Netflix, which is that.
Do not ruin this for me because I've been waiting until this weekend to watch that.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything.
Just tell me if it's good or not.
It's good.
Okay.
It's one of those movies where they have just like a bunch of high. It's like The Expendables, but they take it seriously.
I said they
Okay.
took like when I saw it, like I looked at all the people who are in it, so I'm like, so you took a bunch of people who play similar parts in movies and made them a team in a movie to do something.
It's like The Expendables, but they take it serious.
Yeah.
It looked good, and I the same time that I saw the ads for that, I saw ads for a show. I don't know if any of you watched it. It's called Shadow or whatever.
Shadow. I don't know if I've even heard of it.
And it's basically like have any of you seen Burn Notice?
Yes.
I have seen
back
a
in the
couple
day. I watched it a little
episodes.
bit.
It's like Burn Notice without the backstory.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
I'm like,
probably good.
it's like
Because that show went on for way too long during my days.
That's
it went.
But
For,
I didn't watch it all.
it
so
went
I
for
can't
one
comment
season
on
too
that
long.
really.
Like the last season was just garbo.
I know Ross did not want to see Triple Frontier last weekend because he said, I've seen this movie before. And it turns out it's not what you thought it was.
I saw the thing of what they do in the movie, so I know what happens already.
You just looked at
No,
the whole plot?
No, the trailer thing on Netflix like shows you like
Yeah.
2/3 of what the plot is for the movie.
Okay, that's misleading. The trailer.
It is.
There's
Don't they try to steal shit from somebody and then
like
they
a
figure out
drug
that what they
cartel
stole
or
wasn't
something?
actually like what they thought and it ends up backfiring on them?
No.
That's exactly what the
No,
trailer
you
said.
looked at the wrong trailer.
No.
sir.
Oh shit!
You looked at the wrong trailer.
No, I did not.
I thought it was a bunch of guys that were former military,
Yep.
whatever.
Okay.
They decided to rob this cartel for all of this
Yep.
money.
Yep.
And then go their separate ways.
But wasn't there like way more
Yep,
money
in
than
the
they thought?
movie-
It was like not the like it was. They
Oh,
like,
do I want to ruin this part for you?
no,
shit?
Okay. Whoa, no, now you're going to watch it.
no. I'm
Now
not-
you're watching.
I don't want you to ruin it for Chris.
Can I tell you, like, how long of a section a piece of the plot is in?
Sure.
Okay, so the scene that you're talking about, the heist, the robbery.
It's right at the beginning, or like mid.
No, and it's like 10 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like 20 minutes in.
It's not what you expected. Like, that
Wow.
heist is not like the main. Like, the actual heist is not the main
Well, I
part
know
of
That's
the movie.
what I was thinking.
I didn't
No,
think
That's
it
what-
was.
It's not
Based on
build
that.
up to that climax.
Okay.
There's a lot of movie after that.
Okay.
So it was not what I thought it was. Like you thought it was. I thought it was going to be the same thing. But I do like
What
this
did
type
you-
of
What did you
movies.
think I thought it was gonna be?
It was just going to be a heist movie.
No,
that was
no.
it.
They do the heist and then they're like, "Oh fuck!" and then they get like, "That's really what I saw in the trailer." Thing.
Shit goes south. You
Yes.
think? Oh, you got to see the movie.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of movies that happens in.
All right.
Sure.
Anyway, I thought it was good. It's definitely worth the watch.
Okay.
Like I'm not.
And
You
what's
know,
with
I'm
the
not. It's not. Oscar nominated.
and what's with the weird name?
Triple Frontier?
Yeah.
That has something to do with military shit that I don't know about.
Oh.
I looked it up, but I don't know what it means. It's some like military term, I believe.
Is it one of those cheesy movies where they say the movie title in the movie?
I did. I don't think I heard it.
Okay.
Which is weird because that's like usually a thing for every single movie ever. Like Blade. In the movie they say Blade.
Like Independence
Well,
Day, where he says Independence Day.
And they say Independence Day.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, like I think that's super cheesy when movies.
Let me
do that.
go ahead and Google
It
that.
happens, but I'm just like, damn it.
What does Triple Frontier mean?
I can't do that speech because I'll get sued. But
Right?
Okay, in the border area where Argentina and Brazil and Paraguay meet, an active South American center for contraband
the
and drug
Triple
trafficking,
Frontier.
the money laundering, a suspected local for Islamic extremist groups. That is what the Triple Frontier is called, I guess.
Yep.
It's just the
it's where
intersecting point of
places,
three
yep,
countries.
yep,
Okay.
Okay.
So, neat. It was not a military term. I was completely wrong, but I corrected myself, so leave me alone in the comments.
Don't
All
do
right,
it.
moving on. Transformers getting another movie. They should
I
stop.
heard it's getting another one after. Was it the last
night.
They're getting another one after that, and Bumblebee's getting another movie.
That Bumblebee movie,
Why, though?
movie got like over 90% on Rotten
I heard it was
Tomatoes.
good, but it didn't actually. It made a lot of money, but it didn't make like what the other Transformers movies make.
Yeah, because the other Transformers movies are just like action explosions.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much it. The first one was really cool, like because it's just like the nostalgia factor for it. But
Yeah,
the rest
sure.
are just like
Shia
Hear
LaBeouf.
me out. Like,
yeah.
why didn't they just like buy the glasses off eBay?
I know.
In the first movie, I know what he's talking about.
I don't know. Maybe because they didn't have anywhere to ship it.
Because they didn't have money. No, I'm just kidding.
Their computers,
I know.
they can give themselves as much
Well,
money as
rather
they
than
want,
buying it
right?
on eBay, they found him and located the glasses. Like
Yep.
fine.
But that didn't work out for them.
No, it did not work out for them in the end. But in the end,
He already
everything
had
did work
Autobots
out.
there that were going to stop
In the
him
end,
from
it doesn't even
that were gonna
matter.
stop-
Just waiting
Bumblebee
on
would
that
have
one.
stopped him from mailing those glasses, Alex. They wouldn't have been able to buy them. What are you talking about?
You think so? Bumblebee was keeping
Yeah.
an eye on him.
Yeah, that's why he was there.
All right, let's move on from that. Is anybody excited for a new Transformers movie?
No.
Okay, there's more going on.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was more of a why type thing. Like,
Sure.
why are they making another one?
Yeah.
I watched Love, Death, and Robots as well. I finished that last night, and that show is really fucked up.
I could tell from the trailer it was probably
They're
pretty
not
fucked up.
afraid of showing lots of nudity, which is what's in it. And what it is it's a collection of animated short stories. Like each
Okay.
episode is like
standalone?
9 to 16 minutes long only.
Is it a standalone? Like you can watch one episode and
Yeah, it is essentially a micro Black Mirror. Like all of it is like
Except with just
pretty
really
much
like weird messed up stuff.
yeah, it's pretty much all like sci-fi
And
oriented
you said it's
short
animated?
stories. Like every single episode's animated
It
except
almost
for
looked like
one.
it almost looked like I saw some CGI and then like some anime type look and then like
Yeah, it's animated.
So how
CGI is animated.
how
yeah, but
close?
it had like both. It looked like
Yeah, each episode has its own art
yeah,
style.
that's what I'm saying.
And there's a
how
couple
close
that kind of
is
look
this
the
to
same.
Twilight Zone.
No, it's more Black Mirror.
Just wait for the Twilight Zone.
Okay, wait, no,
Since
okay,
it's
okay.
Since
there's
it's
another-
animated, I have to
It is.
ask.
It is very close to Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Peele's doing Twilight Zone. Isn't
There
he?
is only one.
that.
There is only
I
one
thought-
episode that has live action characters in it, which is Topher Grace. It's some other chick. So
What the hell?
one of the worst episodes of
Wait.
it. Don't get me
I was
wrong.
about to
I
say,
thought
oh,
that.
no.
Wait a minute. Why would we want him to do the Twilight Zone? We're supposed to get behind and push through him making that live action Gargoyles movie, Roddy.
Man.
He can do more than one thing at a time.
Peele.
Topher Grace.
No, Peele.
Jordan Peele.
Is he making a live action Gargoyles
He
movie?
wants to.
That's one of the things he wants. Yeah.
That would be so
Bruh.
fucking dope, dude.
I
I
think-
probably see that more than I saw
think it
Black
was like a-
Panther in theaters. Like
Yup.
that'd be insane.
I would
I
see
think
that.
it was like a half year ago. They said his company was like asking for like original ideas.
I
and
hope
shit
that
like
this movie does so well, he gets a blank check to make whatever movie he wants, and then just bam, Gargoyles. And then
He's going to. He's going to be
it's
like.
gonna be the M Night Shyamalan where he makes the next movie where it's gonna be as The Village.
Yep.
He's gonna have M Night Shyamalan direct it. What are you doing?
Oh my god, dude! Gargoyles, live action Gargoyles would be so fucking dope.
get Jonathan
I am
Frakes
so
to play
hyped right
the-
now.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Holy
You gotta
shit!
get Jonathan Frakes to play and voice the mayor of the city or whatever.
Oh god.
Man.
What's the name of the dog? Is it Bronx in Gargoyles?
I think so,
Like,
yeah.
we were gonna name Thor that. Like
Yo,
when we first got him.
man, I used to watch that show with my pops. That's crazy.
Yeah, that show is so good. The video game for the Sega Genesis, so good.
But since that show is animated, like, how does it compare to something good like, say, Happy Tree Friends?
Happy Tree Friend.
Happy Tree Friends. That's
You're
that
really
fucked up
reaching
shit I never watched. Each episode is different. It has its own unique animated.
Would you
CGI
say the title
style.
explains each episode pretty well? Love, Death, and Robots?
It's fucking weird, dude. It is really weird. It's worth a watch. Like some episodes are worth a watch, some episodes are like trash, but it's like 10 minutes, so it's like you'll get past the bad.
It's one of them things where it's like, hey, you need something to keep your attention, just watch this, and then
Yeah, it's weird. There's like comedy, like there's some horror, there's thriller. It's all Black Mirror, so there's gonna be like, Black Mirror. I don't want to say twists, but I'm gonna say twists, I guess. Most of them have that twist at the end, that sort of shit. Like, but it's definitely nowhere near Black Mirror quality, but it's still good. It's an interesting take on a lot of things. Can I explain an episode to you?
Yeah, sure.
One of the best episodes I saw was one where it's one of the CGI episodes. I can't remember the name of it, but there are werewolves that exist, and they are known to the world, and they are, they're in the Iraq War as like, what would the fuck would you call that?
like foot soldiers or
They're like the they put them with companies as like I can't think of the fucking name
Specialists?
to like strengthen the company or whatever. How do you word that?
They give him a morale bonus? I don't know
No,
what the fuck you're talking
they're like super powerful weapons essentially that the military uses. Each company is supposed to like
yeah.
each outpost is supposed to have one.
It's
or
like an
something,
Alien
like-
where they have an android on every ship or whatever.
Yeah, essentially, it's like they have a power player, just and it takes place in Iraq or Afghanistan, one of those, and it's it's cool.
Yeah.
It's short, but it's like super cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And the episode starts out.
I kind of want live action to that though,
That's
and not no Sci-Fi Channel.
Well, it's
What, Dog Soldiers?
pretty decent CGI. These are short episodes, so it's not Final Fan. It's like Final Fantasy Spirit Within quality, a little bit better CGI quality.
So like Animatrix type.
There's literally an episode that you'll just be like Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Oh god,
That's what you'll say because like the concept is like the same thing.
I wouldn't doubt it.
there's like spirit ghost thing. It's like Final Fantasy.
It's like Ghost Hunters, but animated.
Ghost.
Oh, look at that! That guy flicked the light switch.
We should make animated Ghost Hunters.
Anyway, I do think it's worth a watch. You can watch a couple episodes if you don't like it. If you don't like the first couple episodes, you can stop because that's pretty much what all they're going to be.
Yeah.
How many episodes is there? Do you know?
I can't remember, but there's over 10, I believe.
Okay.
So it's over an hour. You'll get over an hour of content, I believe.
Okay.
So that's season 1 of that. It was pretty exciting. Some of the short stories are like, wow, that was actually pretty cool. Like shit like that.
Sweet.
Us is this weekend, and we are going to see it tomorrow, I believe, or Sunday. And it's right now. I'll check the current rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hopefully,
I'll catch up eventually.
I think
Hopefully it'll be
Sunday
Sunday.
works for EMAX, so I think
Yeah.
maybe we could.
Is
try
that what he
Sunday.
said?
Yeah.
that will work
Okay.
the best for me, and I got free movies.
Maybe
So
you
this
can take
this
Evo.
is this is more disconcerting to me. Is the titanometer for critic is 95%, but the audience is 71 currently.
It's probably being bombed by.
Is
some
it
people.
being bombed? That's what I was worried
Probably.
about.
The thing is, it being bombed, number one, and number two, we were just talking about it before the show. Like the amount of hype surrounding the
Yep.
movie is not great.
I think people are going to it expecting Get Out when this is like this is just a horror film.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say that might throw some people off, and they might not
Yeah.
get a good rating.
Charlemagne the God on the Breakfast Club said, if Get Out is Good Kid, Mad City, this one is To Pimp a Butterfly. So take that with what you will. Compare it to Kendrick albums.
Right.
But they're not the same movie, so don't go into it
People
thinking that they will
expected
be.
Get Out and got the shit scared out of them. Is that what?
Yeah,
you're
that's
saying?
what
It may be, yeah, maybe.
like, damn
Like,
right,
ooh, I like that
right.
idea. So I'm very excited to see that because I love horror. Horror does not get enough credit. They do not get that much visibility. You know,
I'm not even really a huge fan of horror
Well, it's to
films,
the
but a
point
few
right
friends
now.
of mine kind of got me back into it with. I think it was the latest Halloween movie.
with Child's
Oh
Play.
yeah.
Did you watch the latest Halloween one?
I did.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Did you like that tracking shot or that long ass fucking scene on Halloween night? They does?
Yeah, like
Fucking insane.
the reason I think I like the movie, and it might not appeal to people who like classic horror movies, is it was a revenge movie for me, which I love that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like I love revenge films.
The newest Halloween movie was insane to me.
Yeah.
Like thinking back on it, I haven't seen it again, but it is so good. That single shot sequence that they did that probably had some clever wipes in there, but I didn't really notice. It was insane to me. That's like one of the most amazing shots. It's up there in shots for cinema for me because the concept. It hasn't been done in horror as a single tracking shot.
I thought they did a whole movie that was one shot. That was a horror movie.
What movie?
I don't know, but they literally one shot, and it was like a whole horror movie.
Maybe I didn't
Jeez.
see it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm assuming I didn't see it then.
I don't think.
'Cause
I don't think it was like a huge like movie, but I'm pretty sure it's happened.
Yeah, because this tracking shot, it just blew my mind. Like, it was so good. Like,
Because I remember they were like, "Oh, it's one continuous shot, and it's a whole movie."
yeah, but it's something
first
that you
person.
never ever see in like those classic horror films. It's always one person goes out alone to take a piss in the woods. Jason's there.
It's so hard. It's harder to build suspense on like
This shot-
unlike a shot that's just continuous. Building suspense is something that's hard to do unless you put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, this okay, so you take the
And-
classic horror trope, you know, everybody breaks away, everybody dies one by one. This tracking shot, spoiler, it's not much of a spoiler, is literally Michael gets out, it's a tracking shot of him on Halloween night just going door to door killing everybody in his fucking way.
Yeah.
Like just going through the houses and
Yep.
snaking his way through houses killing people in it.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
I just like
It really is.
you know, when it was just on site for the whole movie, like suns out, guns out, bitch. Like,
Yup.
yo, it's
Yup.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
they got rid of some of the supernatural aspect of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you could tell some of it was a little tickle of it was still there.
Sure.
So I enjoyed that a lot.
It was really gritty and like it was dope.
Yep.
I thought it was dope.
Hans Zimmer is set to compose the score for Denis Villanueva's
Yep.
Dune. I can't say nothing to
You got
do.
it good enough. You got it good enough.
Denis Villanueva Dune. Ross, what's his name?
Villanueva or Villanueva.
See, he can't do it either.
It's French, isn't it? So
Is
it's
it?
like you got to pronounce it a certain way if you're.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do
He
it.
could be French Canadian though. I'm not 100.
He's no Kevin. What was that, Ross?
I know.
Federline.
No.
He's no Jake Ewan
Hey,
Houlihan.
fan.
Yeah, he's no Jake Gyllenhaal.
Kevin Feige,
But this
or
is
whatever
Hans
that
Zimmer.
brand is.
Popo
This
Zao.
is Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, he did. He just.
Isn't that the bad guy from that Die Hard video?
But the last time they were teamed up was for the Blade Runner, the new one. Those two.
Was
So,
the new Blade Runner good? I've only seen the old
If
one.
you were a fan of the old one, you probably like the new one.
Okay.
It was pretty solid, and then I was like, anytime that they get Abdi in a movie, I'm fucking happy. You know? So like,
Like, that's crazy.
I'm trying to get a list of his composing works in like.
I saw it
films.
earlier, and it was some pretty good films.
he
He's one of the more well-known.
historically
like,
he
composers.
did a big. It was either like a. It wasn't a Star Wars, but it was a big budget. Like he did a couple big budget movies.
He is considered essentially top tier for composing for movies.
And if you think of like a lot of the like ones that were top tier, a lot of them are either dead or like really old.
Yep. So him being
He did Interstellar, Inception, Dark Knight, Man of Steel. Like those are some of the newer stuff.
insane. Yep.
Pretty sweet.
Let's go older, dude.
Gladiator,
He did.
The Lion King,
I almost
The
picked
Da
that
Vinci
one out.
Code, The Da Vinci Load.
I mean, look at how many fucking credits this dude has, up from
Jeez.
Cool
Dunkirk.
Fucking Runnings,
Oh,
The
The
Lion
Last
King,
Samurai,
Black
Man of
Hawk
Steel.
Down,
Sherlock
Pirates
Holmes.
of the Caribbean.
to The Last
with that.
Samurai, Something's Got to
Pirates.
Give,
Pirates of the
Madagascar.
Caribbean.
Rain Man.
Wow.
This dude's like top
He's the
tier.
shit.
I mean-
so him being attached to Dune
Black
means
Hawk
they
Down.
are taking it very fucking seriously.
Wow.
I mean,
12 Years
you got,
a Slave.
I mean, you got like him.
Wow,
you got,
don't-
You got him. You got like John Williams.
Don't pull that one.
And like Danny
No
Elfman and a
kidding.
few other guys. But other than that, there's
Jeez.
like composer-wise, there's like a list of like 5 or 6 of them
It's
that
just
do
Yep.
most of the
listing.
movie.
Really?
So that's
How
very
rich are
exciting.
These guys? How much are these guys net worth?
They're
Actually,
putting-
all of this shit?
it actually said his net worth at somewhere on here.
You look
before
that
I
up.
clicked.
Disney completed the acquisition of 21st Century Fox, so now they officially have X-Men and X-Men back,
Yeah.
and is
Somebody-
the Fantastic Four in
Well,
that too?
Yeah.
Or is that Sony still?
I think they got Fantastic Four. Oop, my bad.
What is it?
It
What's the
says
verdict?
somewhere around 200 milli.
There was something else they owned too.
Jeez.
They got Deadpool back, and well, that's like mutant.
They got
shit.
some other things that were like not like involved with like that too, because they bought like everything pretty much.
That's awesome.
Is that good though?
No, they're working.
Fox not controlling a big part of the media. Yeah, that's great.
Just asking
But they
everybody's
still have their
perspective
news,
on it.
don't they?
That's what. That's like all they kept
Kept-
with the
yeah.
news, pretty much. Yeah.
because they're
That's
making
fucking-
bank
Oh, yeah,
off it
they're
right
making
now.
bank.
It's fucking
Thanks,
terrible.
Republicans, for funding Fox News solely.
Don't fund Fox.
It's Fox Entertainment, isn't it? Or
I don't
what do they
even
call
care.
themselves? Fox Nation.
Don't even
Yeah,
Where they
Fox
literally
Nation, yeah.
they literally
Fox
beg
yourself.
people for money. It's like
Well, 90-some% of their shows are opinion shows, but they're a news channel.
it's like we'll keep
Yeah.
brainwashing you if you put $1 in the box.
Right?
All right, they did. I'm gonna go through these quickly. They did Bill and Ted 3. Keanu and the other actor, who I can't remember his name, but Bill and Ted.
Alex Winter.
Alex Winter. They announced that they are doing Bill and Ted the third. Stranger Things season 3 trailer released, and that
Strangers.
looks, of course, amazing. So I don't think they can do much after the third season. Like they're gonna be stretching it in the third, I think.
It's difficult with
Yeah,
those.
they ain't got no run like
They
Supernatural, do
they
they?
gotta open a world to be able to. They gotta open up the world up more if they're gonna keep going.
It's hard
Like,
because they
after
said
3.
they're writing this shit as they go, and it's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to wait.
What
that
about Game of Thrones season 9?
That Game
Where
of
they
Thrones.
say what's her face has had 2 brain aneurysms on set or whatever.
Who was that?
Holy shit!
The
Is this a
main
real
Megan
thing?
Clark.
Yeah.
She
This
had
is a
2 brain
real-
aneurysms.
Yeah, there was some article I read. Or
From what? I hope she's okay. She's beautiful and talented as an actress.
Even if she was
and
ugly, he
some
would
people just
still
have
hope
health
she
issues
is-
that happen.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens. Think of how much stress you could be on. All sorts of
possibly.
shit.
Yeah, I suppose.
Do we want to support that though?
What?
Stressing people to the.
There's just no. It's done. The last
They're
season's
making a
done.
lot of money. I don't know.
Okay,
man.
she can rest. Amelia Clark, please rest.
Yeah.
You're gonna be needed eventually for probably some prequel.
What, Terminator,
Some.
the next movie?
Okay, we'll cap it off with some very sad news.
Yep.
Supernatural announced that season 15, which will be their next
one,
season, is going to be the final season. They have said this before.
I literally
That's
thought
true.
they were done after they threw the dude in the pit.
That was when they said they were done before, but
Yep.
it got insane viewings or
They
whatever.
still have their con every year in
That was
Minnesota.
like season 6 or
What?
some shit.
That's where
They-
Supernatural cons down in the cities, or how it's called.
What?
The
I
guy
never
that
knew
played
this.
Cass said he got like robbed or something.
Yeah,
one
he
time,
got
didn't
mugged down there one time.
That's probably true. I want to go to Supernatural Con now. I did not even know it was in Minnesota. I'm
yeah.
caught up on Supernatural episodes. I love that show. My sister got me to watch it like back when it first came out, and then I'm like, wait, you're watching a show where they fight fucking werewolves and shit?
I've
Yeah.
watched seasons like 1 through like 2.5, and then I watched from like 6 or 7 onward, so I missed like
It's-
this big chunk.
It's literally like watching it. It's like they're running. They're out of ideas.
Yeah.
So you watch it literally
It's
to
the-
like see what could you
it's
possibly
the
do.
literally the newest
15
season
is
is
going to be episode
literally-
1 of
the
season 1.
newest
It's gonna
season
be the
is
plot.
literally an alternate universe. They're fighting guys that were like from their universe that are already gone.
Oh shit.
It's pretty much what the newest season
They-
is.
Terrible.
It's
Season 15.
insane.
Season 15, episode 1. They're going through the warp, just trying to kill as many demons as possible.
Okay.
Yep.
Whatever.
Okay, so that's it. That's all we have. Does anybody have any final statements? Alex, did you want to say anything about Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines?
7 out of 10 wouldn't play again.
7 out of 10 is pretty good. That's a B
Wouldn't
plus,
play
right?
again.
A plus. We'll catch you next time.
Wait.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the episode. You could catch us currently at the Prime 4 podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Podcast Addict for audio only. If you want to see how fugly we look in real life, you can also catch us on YouTube under the Prime 4 podcast.